Guys, welcome to the Man of the Metaverse. Me and Brandon had a hour conversation off off
Offline.
offline, but it's very important. But we was leading into a conversation is if you want to get hired or want a high paying job or career.
Mm-hmm.
I say this in my book. Hold on, what you got? Okay, I don't got the book open. I say this in my book. Your appearance tells an employer how much to pay you.
Okay.
Would you believe that, Brandon?
I do. I do.
Have
And
you
your attitude. Go ahead. But go ahead.
have you ever seen a fat CEO of a
No.
publicly traded company?
No. No.
Have you ever seen a fat vice president of a public traded company?
I can't say I have. So you think weight does play a part in that kind of stuff and those kind of decisions what companies have?
Of course, because when a hiring manager looks at you and they
Uh-huh.
see you overweight, that means you don't have no discipline. They assume that
Yeah. Okay.
you don't have no discipline. So if you don't have no discipline in your own life, how can you come up to this job
Mm-hmm.
showing discipline?
I got you. And they want somebody that other people are going to look to as a leader. Is that fair
Correct.
to say?
Correct. And how many fat superheroes you seen, brother?
Not
not
many.
not the villains, not super villains, but superheroes. How many
Right.
fat superheroes you seen?
Not many, if at all.
I don't know why I'm getting blurry. I'm getting blurry over here, ain't it?
A little bit.
Let me yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna be so we go time we go live, we'll get blurry. But guys, if you want a high paying job, your appearance make a difference. Brandon got dreads in his hair or locks or braids.
Locks. Right, locks.
He cannot get a high. He cannot be a CEO of a company with that hairstyle.
And why is that?
Because you can't, Brandon. You don't look European, Brandon. You ain't
Well,
clean cut.
the other day I saw some Europeans with some dreadlocks.
Hippies. They are hippies. All right. Or trust fund babies. But no, Brandon can't get it. If Brandon wanted to get a not lower management, but middle management higher, he have to cut that hairstyle off.
And they'll step to me like, Brandon, we want to give you the job, but we want to give you a little makeover. How what about a low cut? You want to do something like that? You see Smith over there, he got a low cut fade. I like that look. That's a real clean look, and it just looks really presentable. Not saying what you have on your head isn't presentable, but for the position we want a man who's clean cut. They'll say that.
And they will only say that for a startup company. if it was a major company, they wouldn't even tell them that. Because they did something illegal. They discriminate against his appearance, which is
true.
Illegal. So they may do that at a startup because them kids don't know no better. But at a real one, no, they will not. He just won't get the job. He has the background, but it's just something about him. I just feel like he can't do it. You see what I'm saying?
Correct. Then they may try to touch my hair too. Like, how does it work? How does your hair lock up?
That's only at a startup. All right. Only at a startup. You take these Harvard, you take these highly educated white guys, Asian guys, and Indian guys. They come up with a bullshit plan.
Okay.
They go up to some of these invested bankers. They say, hey, we got this plan. Give us some money. They look, okay. You went to Harvard. Okay. You went to Penn State. Okay. Right. You went to Columbia College. Okay. You're white. Gotcha. Oh, you're Asian. You got to know what you're talking about. The Indian, give them multi-millions of dollars. Give them multi-millions of dollars. Now, Brandon Brandon don't see my screen. I did a presentation 9 months ago that we ain't never talked about. Never talked about, and we ain't gonna talk about it, but I just go show you. Brandon, what's this lady first name?
Charlie Jarvis.
All right, what do the thing says?
JP Morgan paid $175 million for a hot startup, but it was fake.
Now, JP Morgan, one of the top 5 biggest banks in the world.
Mm-hmm.
This young lady went to Penn State, came up there and talked to these guys, a pitch an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And JP Morgan said, gee golly, we love her.
Right.
They gave this young lady $175 million to fund her business. And guess what happened next, Brandon?
She disappeared with the money?
No. After they gave her the money, then they did research on her business.
That sounds about right.
On the business. Now, this is old. But let's go here. She founded a company called Frank, and it's a service to help students apply for student aid. Brandon, you ever applied for student aid before, Brandon?
Yes.
Okay. If you have a kid planning to go to college, they got accepted in college, Brandon. Why would they need a service to help fill out this information? I'm going to ask you questions. See, can you fill this out, Brandon?
Okay. But you know what?
You want
before you even hear about filling out your financial aid, it sounds complicated, doesn't it?
It does.
It sounds like it's gonna be aggravating and time consuming, and you just don't have time to do it, even though you haven't even looked at it.
No, and you need a service to help you fill it out. $175 million. So I can ask Brandon the second question they asked you on the storm. Brandon, spell your first name right now, Brandon.
Brandon.
Correct. All right. Don't give your address, but what's the first digits to your address, Brandon?
I'll give my first digit 31.
All right. What state do you live in, Brandon?
I live in South Carolina.
Okay, hold on. This is a trick question. What's the abbreviation for South Carolina?
SC.
There you go. So you paying this woman $175 million to fill this out.
But do you think me and you could have came into the meeting, the pitch room, did the same thing she did? You think we would have got the money?
No.
You think we would have got half of the money?
You couldn't get through the front door. They asked where the restroom at. They wouldn't let you in there to use the restroom.
Correct. I agree with that.
Question number 3. Worth $175 million. What is your email address? Write down your email address. All right, let's see here. All right, question number 33. What income tax did you file or will file? Some people may not file nothing, but some people may file something. So you probably did a 1040. And the only difference is that you claim yourself or your parents claim you. That's the only difference.
Right.
And they only ask, okay, question number 15.
What,
are you single? No, 34. Are you single, head of household, married, qualified? Brandon.
If you're a college student, well,
No. We're gonna do it right. Brandon, share your screen and type in head of household to Google. Share your screen first.
Okay.
Because a person may not know what head of household means at the age of 18 or 17. Would you say that's correct, Brandon?
That's true.
And this is random. Brandon's going to type in. Yes.
Can you see it? Okay.
Head of household. Taxes. We don't see nothing typing in, though. Okay. Read the first. You just typed it in. Read the first sentence, Brandon.
Head of household is a filing status you can claim if you're single or unmarried and maintain a home for qualifying purpose, such as a child or a relative.
So somebody got to get paid $175 million so you can figure out how to do a simple Google search and figure out what these words means.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we should have gave her more money because this is complicated.
It is. Now, Brandon, once she got the money, now she had to prove she had the tail. So she created fake documents showing 4 million users, but only had 300,000 users. So she went to a college professor, paid this guy $18,000 to create fake users accounts, fake emails, and fake data.
Is that a crime?
Yes, it is a crime.
Right.
So see, JP Mortgage, where do the bank get its money from, Brandon?
The people.
Okay, the people of what?
United States.
Yes, they get their money from the United States government. So you using fake information to falsify documents that this company is going to get from United States money.
That's a federal offense. Yeah,
that's
multiple federal offense. But
now, why would the biggest U.S. bank purchase a startup for $175 million, Brandon?
I have no clue. Just because they like young girls, they want to help out young white people.
Now, the reason they purchased the startup because they want access to the people applying for loans, student loans. Why would JP?
You wouldn't go that route though.
Why would they want that information?
Well, they just want data, and data is, money. You can kind of predict certain things, and that's kind of what they want to do, and that helps you in business to make more money.
I would say yes. They was going to backdoor them people, get your information. Next thing you know, credit card applications be coming in the mail.
Well, to the students, they go to right, correct.
Oh, you need to refinance your federal loan? Or you need some more money?
Right.
Come with us, and we'll lock you in. Oh, okay. That's just a little different. But this is the whole presentation for a long time ago.
So what ended up happening to the young lady?
Type in, I can put this up. Type in her name.
Charlie Davis.
Type it in, put it on. This is live, people. We do this stuff live. Type in her name, see what happens.
Can you see it? Because
I can't see you. You gotta put it up.
Let's see here. Shoot. Oh, it says she's facing time. Let's see how many years she's facing. Ooh. I guess she's on trial.
No, read it, Brandon. People can't see it. Read that what it says.
Driver who was arrested last month faces charges for wire fraud, conspiracy to commit bank fraud, and wire fraud affecting a financial institution, which each carries a maximum sentence of 30 years in prison. As one count of security fraud, which carries a 20-year sentence or 20-year maximum sentence. So
this lady will use her privilege. They go change years into months of probation.
Let's hope not. You see that face? They're like, we can't sentence that lady to all that time. I think she learned her lesson. Don't you agree?
We can't look.
You're gonna start crying. She'll start crying in court.
You can't. Brandon, look at the face, Brandon. Nice white teeth. Eyebrows manicure up, long silkish hair.
I wonder what she did with the money. I wonder if she, bought some lavish things, or why did she feel like she needed the money in the first place? Because that's a big ask. Do you think she literally wanted to help people with their financial aid stuff? Because I mean,
of course. So you had some individuals going to college, needed help filling out their last name, first name, and initials. Those 300,000 individuals need help with that. They needed this system to be automated.
But how can somebody help you with that?
But the craziest part about this whole thing, to use her program, I assuming you had to put in your own information.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So say I'm the help that I'm Lewis. I'm here to help you put your financial aid stuff in. So what's your name? So it's basically the same thing. I may give you some help. That's in those situations you could ask a family member or somebody, a co-worker or something like that, or just a friend.
I had you ever used TurboTax, Brandon?
Yeah, I have one time, I think, or something like that.
I have a feeling her program worked just like an online tax service.
Right.
It asks you, what's your last name? You type it in. What's your first name? You type it in, and they take those stuff you type in and translate it on to here, and that's it.
But let me ask you a question. I'm glad you said that. Do you think in 2023 we need like an H&R Block or like those buildings like Hewitt, Jackson? What is it like? Isn't that the name of the other one? Do you think we need tax services like that for regular people?
Yes.
Like,
how else they go do their taxes, Brandon?
They can't do it. We can't start learning how to do it on our own.
No. People read on the 6th grade level.
Okay.
And how you gonna read this right here? Number and street. See, it don't say address. It says number and street. What number are they talking about?
That's a good point. So we have reading comprehension skills.
Whose street they talking about, Brandon? Whose street? You know, watch this. Your permanent mailing address. What? What word permanent means? Is that current? I don't know. You know, I'm between houses right now, so I don't know. Yes, they need that services, man. Okay. People can't feel like that. People can't shit. I don't even like to read no more.
I agree.
Somebody write a long text, had to struggle to read that text, Brandon. Brandon, you got anything you want to talk about?
Not necessarily.
We probably get in less than 50 minutes. We'll be out of here. We ain't keep it too long today.
Yeah. Nah. I got family here too. And you know, my daughter starts school Tuesday.
She started on Tuesday?
Start Tuesday. And we're going to try to get her in a good routine as far as washing up, going to bed, get ready to get up because you got to be in class at 7:45.
Okay. Go ahead. Okay. What is a woman's most powerful weapon, Brandon?
Her looks.
That's your final answer?
Yep.
All right. This is AI generate photo. Excellent pic. Don't she look good for an AI generate photo?
Yeah.
She got the fake lips, got the makeup what they're wearing now.
Yeah.
You got the tattoos, and it's got the sunflowers. All right. Who is it? You ever heard the person named Samson, Brandon?
I have.
What was Samson known for?
I guess his strength. I'm not sure exactly because I can't remember the Bible story. But
it was his strength. He was a Nazarite. And they say as long as he don't cut his hair or drink some liquor, he'll have strength to kill any Palestinians anywhere in the world. But what got him caught up, Brandon?
A woman, I'm sure.
Did a woman use her looks to get him caught up?
Of course. Well, she might have used her vocabulary, her speech, her voice.
Okay. All right. You heard this guy, right?
Yeah.
Now the person, what happened to him? What caused his demise?
Well, they said, being black was a part of his demise, but they said he was whistling at a white lady.
Who say?
Well, the white lady said he was whistling at her.
All right, Brandon, you recognize this man?
I do.
And I'm missing the L on his name. I just seen it. Now, Brandon, he spent 4 years in prison. What caused him to go to prison, Brandon?
Let's see. What caused him to go to prison?
What caused him to go to prison?
If I had to choose one thing, because the multiple things caused him to go to prison.
Okay, just name them.
Well, partying, white women.
Brandon, you know
money.
White women, Brandon. Why you ain't in prison?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to pick, because all these things, this a white woman being assaulted, quote unquote, is
ain't no evidence of that.
But that's why I say quote unquote. That's what they said. That's what she said. But I'm not sure. Let me see what caused Bill Cosby to go to jail. Well, I'll just say white tears.
Okay. Now, what is the name of this whole thing?
What are the presentation? What is a woman's most powerful weapon?
All right. Who is this young lady, Brandon?
Ooh.
Who is this young lady, Brandon?
This is Carly Russell. This is
okay.
An American hero.
What did she do? What's she known for doing?
She's known for rescuing a child, allegedly, but then got kidnapped and then came back home. So just making up a story for attention, I guess.
Oh, okay. Now, Brandon, do you recognize the young ladies in this picture?
Yes.
This lady
was the bird watcher.
Bird watcher. She called the cops on my man.
Right.
This lady was to call the cops on a young black girl selling water on the side of the road. This lady
was a cookout.
Called the cops on the cookout. Black people having the cookouts. And Brandon, what did this young lady done?
She was married. The dude, her side dude, was cheating on her. So she called her brothers to go jump him and ended up one of them getting killed.
My opinion, the most powerful weapon for a woman is language.
Mm-hmm.
Language is not the looks, because this proves it right here. It's not the looks.
Right. I hear you. That's a good point.
It's the language. Women are the masters of language. So they will use words and communications as a biggest weapon at what they could do.
So are you saying men, we can't do the same thing?
Man should never get in a language match with a woman, because you can't win.
Right.
It's impossible.
And what's it called? The dude from Creed? Didn't he try to do that? He tried to call the police on the young lady that, you know what I'm talking about? Jonathan Majors. He tried to use language.
He called the police and said, check on my girlfriend. I think she's having another breakdown.
Right.
The cops went over there. She used language and said, this motherfucker was beating on me.
Right. She flipped it on him.
And then what did the cops? She did the language. And what did the cops do?
They took her side. And then now
and they arrested him.
Right.
Now then she fled the country.
And ruined his career because he had some movies lined up and everything. But
here, since this is kind of like a man's channel, man should never go use language as a weapon against another woman. Look at the two individuals on here, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
This immature young man went to social media a month or so ago,
mm-hmm.
and spoke language like these onto another woman. What happened to him, Brandon? You tried to go to
he got attacked. He got attacked. And it's not fair, but it should be equal, right? If he feels a certain way, he should be able to voice his opinion same way she feels. No, why not?
A man cannot talk about his woman relationships in public.
Why not?
Me and Brandon had a conversation for 50 minutes offline and ain't never made it public because that's man's cannot win on that level.
Right.
You can't your tongue is not better than a woman's tongue.
That's right. And I don't think people are gonna get behind you.
Man, guys won't even get behind you.
Right. But why is that? Should we blindly get behind him when he did? Because we don't agree with what he said, but we could still get behind him anyway. I think sometimes women do that.
Brandon, a guy should never go into using language against a woman for an attack.
Right.
Now, when you see a woman and a guy fighting in public, who look like a damn fool?
Who looks like a fool?
Who looks like a fool?
The man does, but both of them look like a fool. But the man looks crazier to me trying to fight a woman.
I ain't say fight. I said language.
Oh, going back and forth.
Yes.
Who looks? Oh, I was like, well, let's change it. Who looks like they're losing? You're not going to be able to beat a woman language wise if that's what y'all are doing. And
that is correct, because guys may sometimes speak on logic, and if a lady's losing, she may go straight off. I don't care. I'm gonna make some stuff up to beat you.
I think that's fair too. I think they're better at arguments than we are for the most part. Like, even if it's not making sense, like sometimes we make sense with arguments, but would you say it's fair?
I'm looking up something for Brandon. Look what came across the damn screen. But what you was going, Brandon?
I was gonna say, do you think, like we say, most of the time, whether it's logic or whatever, the woman is gonna be winning the argument? Just because if a man and a woman are arguing, it just we've already lost.
Now, Brandon, I'm gonna show you a video, see if I could play it. I think I got this yesterday. Let me see here.
Back because you lying.
I didn't hear that.
She did say what I said was I got the fuck up because it was manipulation in this motherfucker, and I didn't want to hear it. And I had a trigger, so that's why I left, because I know me. Y'all don't know what the fuck I've been through, so I don't expect that. That's why I said, you know what? Y'all can continue to have the conversation. However, I don't have to have it. The fuck? How is that immature?
But you can't say you can't throw up.
Ain't shit funny.
Funny.
It's not funny. You're funny. You're a clown ass nigga for thinking the shit funny.
And you a clown bitch.
I don't give a fuck. Handle me when we get the fuck outside then, since I'm a clown ass bitch.
Fuck, I'm gonna fight you for. You can't beat me.
Now, Brandon, you see how it doesn't make no sense?
No, it doesn't. But how would you deal with that situation if you was a guy?
You are it already showed it. One guy was just in the salad.
Right.
That's what you do. And what we know about young ladies, you walk off, they coming to you. So you might as well just.
So would you diffuse? Would you try to diffuse? What?
How are you gonna diffuse?
That's what I'm asking. What
I said language is the number one thing. So anything come out your mouth is they can see as a weapon.
Right.
Then
they're ready to be on. They're going to be on their attack. So
and then that's tricky. Say, why you ain't saying nothing?
Right.
So they tried to bait you back into the language.
Right.
Hold on, let's see if we keep going.
Exactly.
You want no nigga you call.
How much you want to bet?
Hey, we about
no nigga you call.
How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet?
Yeah, shit, bitch. I ain't hurt you. I ain't fuck with you. I wouldn't. I did.
She about to say your mom.
I wouldn't even fuck with you.
I'm gonna be quiet.
I wouldn't even fuck with you.
Yo, just
get the fuck on. Yeah, I ain't saying that to her.
Hey,
I ain't even talking to her.
No, you good.
I ain't even talking to her. She getting her feelings. I just said she got her feelings. Yeah. Fuck out of here.
No, I didn't.
You get your feeling hurt. Bitch, your heart broken. We all got our heart broken. We all got.
Now, if you don't know the woman, why are you in a damn argument with her?
Right, going, but keeping it going. She's clearly left, and he's still going. But
yeah, why are you in an argument with me? All right, so we figure out, my opinion, language is the number one weapon for a woman. Brandon, can you read the first Bible verse?
The tongue has the power of life and death. Proverbs 18, verse 21.
Out your mouth, you could bless people or you could damage people out your mouth. It's power in the tongue. Whoever who loves life and see good days must keep their tongue from evil and their lips from deceiving speech. You see, here's another addressing the power of the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
What's the third line, Brandon?
Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from telling lies.
Why do they keep on talking about the tongue, Brandon?
Because they know how language is important. You know, verbiage and words can either, like I say, create peace or war.
Now watch this. Now those ladies that we talked about in this clip, except for the ladies cursing, they know their tongue and their being a woman has so much power.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that power could be used as good. It could be used as evil.
Right.
So here's what the Bible says what husband's supposed to do to a lady. Can you read that, Brandon?
Yeah. A Christian husband should love his wife as he does himself and always protect her from all harm.
All right. Your wife comes up to you, Brandon, with language to say, this guy down the street raped me. No, excuse me. Okay, no, excuse me. This guy down the street assaulted me.
Mm-hmm.
Just like this young lady did to her brothers.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Now, what do the Bible says we're supposed to do, Brandon?
Always protect her from harm.
Now, she just said, this man down here assaulted me. So what the guy's supposed to do?
I'm not necessarily saying you should retaliate, but you should start moving in the manner of the times. So that would be call the police, try to see what's going on, let them do the investigation. That's one way to handle it.
Okay, the next door neighbor said it. So what you gonna do, Brandon? You ain't calling the cops
go,
for the next door neighbor.
I have to go over there and handle it, I guess. We'll just leave it at that. But yeah.
There you go. How about the second verse behind that?
He should do his best to nurture and cherish his wife in the love of Christ as he would his own flesh, and tend to her spiritually, emotionally, intelligently, and her physical needs.
You see how much power women have in the language? So if she tells you something that her emotions was hurt, that she was physically insulted, you see how much guys are supposed to attend to that need?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if you abuse it, anything can happen. All right, what's this now? This is the information when Black women especially read the damn Bible.
but when are we going to do that? Do you think we getting further away from it or closer to the Bible?
Okay, I'm skewed before I answer that. Black man, read the Bible your damn self. How you supposed to treat women?
Correct.
Brandon, and your answer, we are getting away from the Bible. And Brandon's going to read this statement and see how man or husbands supposed to treat their wife or wives.
Oh, shit.
All right.
A Christian husband should always respect his wife. When Paul tells his wives to submit to their husbands, and what's that verse?
Yeah, you just say it. Just keep going with it.
He does not mean that wives must endure abuse, neglect, or mistreatment of any kind by their husbands. Rather, Paul is reminding the church that a wife is under the leadership of her husband. A Christian husband must always show his wife honor, both publicly and privately, and protect her dignity and reputation from any and all slander.
So if you if you have a godly man, what's wrong to submitting to your husband, Brandon?
But what percent of people know about this? And like, if you frame this for a woman that you're interested in, and she understands this logic and how you're operating, then it would make sense to be like, okay, I feel more comfortable submitting to this person. Does that make sense?
It does. But here's the thing, Brandon. Watch. I want to jump on your character. Brandon, have you ever abused your wife?
How?
You know what I'm talking about.
Physically,
or through the mouth.
I mean, I would say no, but yeah, I'm gonna say no because I haven't done anything like that.
Have you ever neglected your wife?
Yeah.
I mean,
in a severe way. Okay, no, I haven't. I'm just being fair. But
no, why I say neglected? You be like, bitch, we ain't eating no food today or tomorrow. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, no, nothing to the extreme.
Have you ever mistreated? I mean, Brandon,
I get what you're saying.
Argument, but mistreated. You tied up to a tree outside.
No.
You took all the money out of the purse and said, bitch, you better not call the police.
No, I haven't done any of that.
See, some women would date guys who do some of that too.
That's true.
Some women would date guys who don't honor their wife publicly. Watch this. Publicly and privately. That's a big word. You show honor in public and you show honor in private. Sometimes a lot of people will only show honor in public and they act like a dog in private.
That's true.
Protect her. What's that word, Brandon?
Dignity.
Protect her dignity. You know, like a person's talking loud to your wife. Oh, hold on, sir. You can't do that around. Well, he probably ain't gonna do it anyway, because guys know you talk loud to another person's woman, that's an automatic fight.
Right.
But see, guys know how to play the game. They'll talk loud to a woman, no other guys around.
Can I tell you a quick story real quick? Because we was in Arizona and we was taking a lift somewhere. So it's me, my wife, and my daughter. We're in the Uber car. And sometimes in the Uber they playing music. So he was playing some rap music pretty loud, and I got my daughter in the back. And I guess some people are comfortable with playing rap music in front of kids, but I'm not down for that. Like, you shouldn't be playing curse words and vulgar language in the car. So I'm riding for a minute. I'm like, okay, well, that's one curse word. Let me see if the driver's gonna turn it down
with the real curse words.
Yeah. So it was like an XM radio or something like that. So I waited for a minute. I kind of looked at my wife and, just to see what she was thinking, because I don't want to overreact or say something, but I knew she was thinking the same thing I was thinking. So I'm looking back at my daughter. I'm like, this man got to know that this is not appropriate, So what do? I say, hey, man, can you turn that down? Because, I got my kids, my family's in the car. He's like, oh, okay. So he turned it down. But that's one instance where you have to stand up and protect your family, I guess, in a way.
Brandon, under his wife. Now, it's another Bible verse. He silently spoke with his wife for her opinion, and he protected his wife and his daughter, which is another wife, but on a different level, in public and privately, to protect their dignity. And accused them of slaughter. And the guy up there, he was going to tone it down because he didn't. He couldn't get choked out from the back.
Right. And I'm thinking, because people are crazy, and he might be jamming and trying to get through his day. He said no.
The women in prison there. I said, I'll turn this bitch down. This man gonna choke me out in the back.
Right. And that's what I was thinking. I said, okay, if I tell him to turn it down and he don't turn it down, now we got to go somewhere else. And I don't necessarily want to have to do that while you drive.
But you said it in a respectful way, right?
Right, I did. It wasn't crazy. But do you think people care about that kind of stuff? Sometimes when crazy people would just be crazy.
But I learned you better not talk to another man's wife with his wife right there. A woman, you talking about a death match.
Right, correct.
You talking about death.
And my daughter's there too.
Yeah.
Right. So
watch this. Sometimes you remember I said some women put you in your back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is not a back pocket moment back then, but 3 years ago, it was the builder of this place. They had a conversation with South, but it was all women out there, one guy.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time they had a conversation, they invited me out there. Okay. That man was so nice and polite because he knew if he raised a voice at those women, one of my women two of these other neighborhood women. Nigga, I'm not that nigga out. This is a white guy too.
Right.
Man, I hit that man in his face right then.
Right.
And I expect him to do the same if I act like that in front of his women or towards his women.
And people know life. It's an unwritten, laws that people kind of go by depending on who's out there. Like I say, they'll treat a man a certain way, they'll talk to a woman a certain way. But if it's men present, they'll carry themselves a little bit differently.
And only if those man have some form of covering or cover over those women.
I got you.
Like I know we about to go, but I would show you a video on my phone that happened this past Friday. I was at Arby's eating my mozzarella sticks and drinking and eating my milkshake across the street, 150 yards. You heard the scream, woman. Man up there, not hitting the girl, but doing us. Then picked up the book bag, holding it in her face. Fuck this book bag, throw it down, kick it on the ground. Pow! Bunch of needles fall out.
Oh no, you can't get involved in that.
And then, I saw the needles. Picked up like an iPod or a tablet, holding it in her face. See this? Threw it on the ground. Wow! And walked off. I said, shit, I ain't getting none of that, but my mozzarella sticks.
Because as soon as you try to come over there, they both gonna jump in and rob you.
And watch this. They did all of that. I bet you later that night they were giving fellatio. I bet you.
Right.
All of that. All this trash in the street. All this trash and she's shaking. Hey, she's screaming. He's shaking.
Right. And another side story. So we were at In-N-Out Burger, and I had went outside. I did some drone stuff. My wife and my daughter were inside, and I come back in, and it's a girl. She's sitting right beside us, and it's a boy. I guess her boyfriend sitting there, and she's crying, talking about she want to go and screaming like, "Leave me alone! I want to go! I want to go!" And so I'm like, what's going on? And they were kind of sitting there like they knew something. This has been going on for a minute, but I was outside, so I was like, let's go, let's get ready to go, because I don't know what's going on. Somebody crying, doing all that, but we kind of watching. So I asked her later. I was like, what was up with that? She was like, I was about to call the police, because I didn't know whether this girl needed help or what she was doing. I was like, I don't know about that. Like sometimes you can't get in people's business because they just be acting up and they on drugs and you be doing that kind of stuff. And then you mess around and call the police, they be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? But you never know what kind of situation is going on. But you just have to be mindful of what's going on and start looking at clues and stuff like that. I don't think she was in danger, but people like to do that kind of stuff, and they're just off. They like to play victim and do that kind of stuff. So,
and my knee was hurting. Shit. Well, if that riverboat happened, my knee was hurting. I had to think about it.
I think you would have jumped in at the riverboat.
The first scene they beating them down like that. I'd be like the first black guy trying to break it up.
Right. So if I was over there getting beat up, you'll come over there. Your knee won't be hurting. That adrenaline start kicking.
Like that. But after the first beat up, when everything cool off, my knee was hurting. I said, I ain't jumping over that motherfucker.
Right.
Now my knee was feeling good. I'm up in it.
Right.
But if my knee was hurting, I ain't jumping up in that motherfucker. See, that's why I say you could take the biggest thug out there, let that knee go out on that back, it calms them down because you can't scrabble no more.
Right. No, not for real. And that's when people turn to the guns, but. Now this stuff is really good, and I think it's a lot of good information in the Bible, but we tend to forget about the Bible. Look at your camera; your camera looks smooth now for some reason.
And I'm the only one at the damn house. Yeah, we forget about the Bible, and the Bible just showed there how Christian husbands or godly husbands supposed to treat their wives.
Gotcha.
And if you got a guy treating like that, why not submit. He taking everything you got into consideration.
All right.
So,
does the Bible have anything about side niggas in the Bible? Do they speak on any of that kind of stuff?
Brandon, you know good and well.
Well, but what? But that's a big
thing. Yeah, they speak on it. Any person with a side, throw them off to the streets. So if you married and your husband died, you got a right to get married. But if you start helping all these other people, Jesus only saved one prostitute. All right. He ain't saying nothing else because they was from the streets.
Right.
So it ain't be like that. Side niggas. But that don't even make no damn sense.
Yeah. It does today, just to some people though. Like that's a real thing. And people feel like they need a partner and somebody on the side too to go along with their family.
And that's why we in the situation we at now. How many side pieces they got in the Asian community?
Right. And we wonder why we behind, like I said, and focusing on the wrong stuff.
How many side pieces they got in the Indian community?
Right. And I was thinking, not like I say, not to start jumping on women again, but like what's her name? Sexy Red with that song and Sukiyana. Where are the white women that's doing the same thing, or the Asian women that's doing the same thing? It just seems like it's always our community with that type of ratchet behavior, and it's okay, or it's glorified, or it's promoted.
Okay, I don't think the Asian women are doing that publicly and privately. The white people, yes, they doing that
publicly. Okay, that's what I'm saying. But why it's fine to do it privately, but where it's on a stage where young girls can see it, older women can see it, and it just makes us look bad. But it's like that's the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It's popular to be rapping those lyrics, just like it's popular to be rapping about selling drugs or killing people. Like murder isn't good. Like they like to talk about King Von and all the people he killed.
Murder is good if it's not your own people.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's fine unless somebody killed your parents or your brother. You know what I'm saying?
2 birds, 1 stone. A group of people enrich themselves. Mm-hmm. At the same time, when they enrich themselves, that other group who's opposite of your group destroys itself. Right. Two birds with 1 stone.
But what if the group is the same group? Like that's our problem. We're destroying.
It ain't the same group. Our black people don't enrich themselves. When Meek Mill get $1, his record company made $1,000 for every dollar he get. So that's not enriching yourself, getting crumbs, Brandon.
No, it's not. But they make it seem like it is, and they push that and they make it like, oh, this is the path you should go. But even the people that they giving the change to, the cars to, like with Cadillac Records, they'll give you a Cadillac and make you feel like you was up, you was winning. Meanwhile, the record company is making all the money and not really doing all the work. They're not on the road performing every night. They're not. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
Drake, my opinion, Drake is probably the only rapper that's really getting paid.
Okay.
Because his backing
and his business,
his backing, his business are probably all linked. The publishing, the distribute, he probably got a hands in everything.
Mm-hmm.
And based on his beliefs, he got a pass to do it.
Yeah.
I'd say he's the only one. Nobody else is doing it. They are not allowed to do it.
Yeah. And I guess it's people making money, but they're not really making a lot of money off of their music. If that makes sense. Like
YouTube is a big thing, right, Brandon?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Who do you think who make the most money?
Google? On YouTube?
No, Google versus the biggest YouTube channel. Who do you think to make the most money? To you?
Google, for sure.
Why? Why is that?
Because it's a company that's making money off of searches. Every time you search, I'm pretty sure they get a percentage of it. Like, just imagine how many people are using the search engine. And like I say, it's probably tied. Their search engine is probably tied to YouTube in a way that they're getting a percentage or getting a
Google, Google is YouTube.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So every time you search for something, every time we're on there, every time videos are being played, Google's getting money.
All right, before we leave, Google in 1 quarter, 4 months, they made they are valued at, hold on, let me get a better. All right, here's a better one.
Cash flow.
Google, after all expenses was paid, they didn't owe nobody no money.
That's impressive.
They in their pockets, after all expenses, interest, and everything, they pocket $68.25 billion, Brandon.
Right.
So you think of YouTube, the biggest YouTube channel, in 4 months is making $68.26 billion. There you go. So the rappers are the YouTube channels. The big corporation is Google. YouTube channels, they're making $100,000 a month. This place making $20 billion a month.
Correct.
And there you go. And they ain't doing the work. They just supplying the network.
Yeah.
Me and Brandon doing the work, being up here for 2 hours, well, an hour on here, but an hour before.
Right. But it was good. You know, it's always good to have a conversation, even though we don't have much time to do that. The one we had off air. I was gonna ask you this is off topic because I know you watched JT Pocket Watcher. Have you been watching some of his videos about the Jay Morrison stuff and the Boyce Watkins tie-in and some of that stuff?
Yes.
What's your opinion on that?
My opinion on that is black people do not know how to read and comprehend. Jay Morrison did not do anything illegal. If you read the paperwork, the paperwork says he can take everything and he don't owe you nothing.
Right. So is that how you operate? Would you do what he did? I'll start there because you are right. Because
Jay Morrison?
Yeah. So with the man of the metaverse, will we start doing stuff like that?
No, we won't. No. The Bible says, "Be faithful over little things; He'll give you more."
Okay.
Jay Morrison wasn't faithful over nothing. All right,
but
that's not illegal,
right? Okay, and I guess to tie that to the same thing with Trump, I think you feel like what Trump did, it wasn't necessarily illegal because you said what they have him on.
Stop.
Go ahead.
Okay, with the voting, Trump, you have 30-something states are doing the same thing that Trump's doing. But in America, if you make laws are not illegal.
Okay.
So states made laws to suppress the votes.
Okay.
Trump don't know how things work and try to suppress the votes without making the laws. And that's what got him caught up. America is a hoax.
Right. But that's what I want you to try to voice because, you know, people hear certain stuff and like you say, they don't comprehend. They don't have the listening skills. They go off of emotion when they hear certain things and they don't look into stuff all the way. And I think I used to be that way too. Like you'll just kind of go with what the media says and you don't necessarily look into what's really going on.
Trump said, I need 15,000 votes. In that same year, the lawmakers of Georgia got rid of 250,000 votes legally. You see the difference?
I hear you. But do
Trump voted 15, Brandon. But the crooked laws got rid of 250,000, and that's legal.
Right.
Same thing. You got to make the laws. You got to make the laws to do your crooked ways in America.
That's true. But like I say, do you think people do you get attacked for how you feel because on Facebook or other platforms because you're not a traditional
Brent, I thought you said we about to go.
We are. I ain't trying to make it too long, but I just want people to think
I
about
attacked. I got attacked by voicing my opinion about the Boondocks.
What's your opinion about the Boondocks?
A man said 90s babies know about the Boondocks. I mean, fully know. I said no. Not all 90 babies know about the Boondocks. Case in point, if a baby was born in 1999, Boondocks came out in 2005.
Right.
That baby was 6 years old.
And missed the wave.
People on Facebook said at the age of 6, I fully understand all the concepts and principles of the boom. Brandon.
No.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And and half of the people jumped on me. I said a baby born in 98, 99 cannot fully understand the boom. You can watch it. I say yes.
But that's what I'm saying. I think people like to generalize and say certain stuff, but you're more precise and you're more accurate than most people. That's like if I say, I think we talked about stats. Like I'll be like, shoot,
eating the first crab I tried.
Russell Westbrook will hit a lot of threes, but if you actually look at his stats, he just because you saw him hit a couple threes don't mean he's hitting a lot of threes. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. He has a few one-offers. He hit some. Brady, you just want to hear this Boondocks thing before we go? Can you hear it?
Yeah. First and foremost, R.I.P. John Witherspoon, man. One of the funniest comedians of all time. And you really put work in with the Boondocks, man. He did so much stuff. R.I.P. John Witherspoon, man. He was a cool dude. He was respected in the industry. You know, everybody rock with John Witherspoon, bro. I don't know nobody that said nothing bad about him. But let's get to the topic. You feel me? All right. So if you a 90s baby, y'all know that Boondocks is a classic show. You can't be a 90s baby and not like the Boondocks, bro. I think everybody liked this show. So I'm going to tell y'all why the Boondocks was canceled. All right, so y'all know Aaron McGruder, who is the creator of the Boondocks. He's the writer, you know, basically he created the show. So he sold the show to Sony. And it was something in his deal where they wanted him to write 3 episodes a week. I don't know how writing and all that go, but that sounds like a lot. 3 episodes in a week. So he didn't basically like where it was going, so they fired him. He didn't want to do that, so they fired him, and John Witherspoon basically got paid for season 4. But if y'all watch season 4 of Boondocks, y'all know how trash that season was, bro. They have nothing on season 1 to 3. Like season 1 to 3 had the Thugnificent episode, the Gangstalicious episode, the Fried Chicken Flu, the Tyler Perry episode, the Santa Claus Christmas episode, the Huey, the chocolate episode. Like, man, Aaron McGruder did this thing, but Sony messed the show up, so Aaron McGruder was fired.
Yeah, Brandon. See, I don't have nothing to say, but he said 90s baby in 1999.
That's all. Like I said, the Boondocks was first premiered in 2005. We graduated high school in 2002. So if you're not in our age group, if you're not born in the A's, you're not going to get those jokes. If you were born in the 90s, you're just too young unless you watched it later. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Now, if you was born in 91, yeah, you could get them. 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, maybe.
But you missed it. We were the age we were, that was I guess we were what, in our 20s almost?
20 years old.
That's the prime age. If you were 17, yeah, we may let you in, but if you go back too far, you missed it. You just missed it, and you watched it later, and that's fine. But
Brandon, your daughter's 7, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If your daughter and a 20-year-old watch the episode on Boondocks, which talk about anal sex getting raped,
right? And
one guy was, who would think will understand the concept better, a 20-year-old or a 7-year-old?
The 20-year-old, of course. That's what I'm saying. Like go ahead.
A 7-year-old be like, oh, it's a cartoon, yay!
Yeah. And then they may get some of it, and I think a lot of people try to get what we got. We was in the prime. We were the right age. We got all the jokes and everything. some of y'all was just too young and y'all watched it later afterwards. And like I said, the Boondocks was stopped, and then we still enjoyed the Boondocks years later. And then they tried to come back. We were excited about it, but it wasn't the same, of course. But we, it still was a good show.
We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
Last case in point, Coming to America came out in 88 or 90, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was 4 years old when it came out. I seen it back then.
Right.
You think I like the show better as a 6-year-old or 30-year-old, Brandon? Coming to America.
30-year-old.
Okay.
Like,
see what I'm saying?
Right. Like I say, I remember watching some parts of Coming to America when I was younger, but it was later on when I fully watched the movie and understood this. And I can't claim it like I was there when it first came out, because I was, I'm an 80s baby. Like we remember Coming to America like we do, but it's different from the people who were the age and in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Watch this for first. As someone born in 95, I could tell all of us 90s baby was watching the Boondocks as kids. Even my little cousins born in 98. Yeah, they could watch it. That don't mean they could cup a hand. All right, people. That's why we need to bring back basic school in reading, writing. If Bob has 5 apples and Sam's buys 2 apples, how many apples that Bob got left? We can't understand that, brother.
Charleston White just said that. He said they don't teach reading comprehension in schools anymore. That's why people don't understand certain things that they read or that people are saying online. But I can't believe people be going back and forth like that.
And they got on me. And I told the people, so if you understand that concept as a 6-year-old, you must be a genius out of that and have a highly successful life. If you understand that concept at 6 years old, all those concepts. You got the concept by 7, you must be out of that and highly successful and very powerful now. I was 7 years old. And yes, I got the concept. And
How?
And what is her name? Nay. You see what I'm saying?
Name it right. That's crazy.
You see?
Imagine what you were doing at 7 years old. Like this was like
no, and I spoke on that. I said by this time, children can dress themselves, catch a ball easily using only their hands and tie their shoes. So you at 70 years old, you just learn how to tie your shoes correctly by yourself.
Right.
All right. You just understand what friendship is.
Right.
But you can understand ain't no sex in the prison system.
Right.
Or Thugnificence album.
The racial dynamic, right? The racial dynamics going on with Tom and just I don't know. I get it. It's the internet. That's what people do.
You crazy. I was born in 98, Brandon. Me and you remember 98 like it ain't nothing.
That's funny.
I was watching this and knew what's up, especially seeing firsthand how messed up the hood was. So you 6 years old. You're 6 years old. Now, remember, people, at some point, I want to be a teacher and study how little kids develop. So you 6 years old. I remember how fucked up the hood was. If you're 6, who you comparing it to? That's your world.
Right.
You only know it's fucked up.
Right.
You just know this is what it is.
And back in 98, it wasn't as wide open as it is now. Like in 98, we couldn't see what was going on around us, around the world. It's just connected like that now. Like it wasn't you wasn't a bunch of YouTube. Dude, when did YouTube get big? Like it might have been a thing almost like no, it wasn't
2008. Smartphones had to come out because these people didn't have computers and they still don't got no computers. They don't got internet at the house. They got cell phones at the house.
Correct.
Talk about that's internet.
Right, because internet is expensive, but that's crazy to think about. So in 98, they knew what was going on.
I bet you in 98, 80% of black people ain't never went to the beach before in their life. I bet you. And in 2023, I bet 50% ain't never went to the beach, but they see it now. But they can see it now.
Right. They see it and they see what other people are doing, and that's why people are doing more things. Whoo, that's crazy.
Okay, a smart person. Okay, no, this is me. Okay, let me be clear. At 7 or 8 years old, mine is, I guess your mind is still developed. Okay, hold on.
Less developed than a 15 to 30-year-old.
I can watch. Okay, this is me. I could watch a movie as a child and get a better concept of the movie as an adult. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Man.
I think people don't want to see what you're trying to say. They just want to see. No, I understood everything what was going on in the Boondocks, even though I was 7 years old. And you know, Louis, like even music, like you can listen to a song when you're 15, and then like you'll hear the same song later, maybe a couple years later, and it's something that you missed, a line that you missed that makes more sense now. Like you, like, oh, I had that wrong. I was just listening to it, or I was watching something, but now that I'm older, I understand it in a different way. And that's all you saying, honestly. But people don't want to get that.
I listen to a lot of New Orleans music from 98, 99.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to the same music. This year, I found out they promote raping males with other males. It was like, that's coming.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that back in the day.
Right. And I kind of noticed that too. Like, and it's not just that. Well, yeah, I guess it's New Orleans music. Like certain stuff you kind of hear, and it is blow by you. You don't even know what they're saying really, but it's like you listen to it, you're like, dang, this is really what they're talking about, and they kind of describe it in a way, or just they'll say stuff, and it was okay back then, but now times have changed so much, it sounds different now. You get what I'm saying?
Well, BG, Boosie, Juvenile.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about setting the guy up with some gay guys to get the guy raped.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was I didn't hear none of that stuff back then.
Right.
I did hear I F him in the booty while you beat up on the number one.
Right. Yeah.
I did hear that line.
Right.
But the other stuff,
right.
when I'm listening to, I said, hold on.
It's a line on a BG song. I'm trying to think about it. It's kind of like what you're saying. I'm trying to think what it is, but it's just when you first hear something when you're younger, and when your brain matures, you'll understand it differently when you're older. That's all you're saying. Like, of course, when you was watching the Boondocks, you was laughing when Riley say, "And nigga, that's gay," or whatever. But you're not gonna get all the complex stuff they was talking about in all the episodes.
And I said that. I said, if y'all get it so much, why y'all wearing these feminine clothes like they talked about before the feminine clothes came out?
Or not only that, since you got it back then, why are you still acting the way you're acting and not progressing or not sticking together or not empowering each other?
Correct.
Like, that's the whole point of the Boondocks. It's not really to make you laugh. It's to show you what's wrong with our community. And so we can wake up and do better. But y'all, when you were 7 years old, you had that, you figured everything out, but you still don't get it as an adult. And I think that's what you were saying. So since you were so smart back then, of course you got your life together now, right?
Yeah.
But
before we go, I was a 98 baby, and I can tell you bull on your comment. I watched this show hardcore at 7 years old. Brandon, your daughter right now, Brandon, your daughter is more educated probably than most 7-year-olds. I got a feeling just the way she talked and her grammar.
Right.
Will your daughter understand the concepts, fully concepts?
No, she won't. She won't. And I it's some stuff I'll watch her and she'll try to figure stuff out. But even then, some stuff goes over her head. You know, I'm not letting her watch nothing like this, but I'm just saying, just complicated stuff on television, she'll try to figure it out or try to figure out what's going on, even though it's terms she's not been familiar with.
Will she understand? Watch this. I bet these people won't understand this right here. I'm about to say. Uncle Ruckus loves Ronald Reagan.
Okay.
These people watch the show. Can they tell me the reason why Uncle Ruckus loved Ronald Reagan? I bet they can't.
But why? How would you be able to break that down at 7 years old anyway? You don't have enough life experience to know what's going on or history. Like, you got to know history to know that. So that don't even make any sense. But it's fine. Like I say, Y'all can have it. How many comments did you have to? Just a ballpark estimate. How many comments did you?
Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Let's go back to the top. There's a lot of it says 38, but I think it was 100 or something. Could it get rid of something? I think it was 100 or something.
Yeah. Is this it's your post? Or this
No, I just commented because that's fine. He said 80 babies. He said 90 babies. I said in 1999, because I remember this show came on at 9 or 10 o'clock. And I was drinking beer then. I can't stand your old up at 10 o'clock.
Well, look, the 7-year-old and you y'all had the same mindset. Clearly.
I was doing this. I was doing this smoking. Sometimes I smoke Louis. I was at 10, and this before new TV, when these shows only could come on after a certain time, it could have had curse words.
It was Adult Swim. I think that's where that stuff just started.
I was drinking beer. I said, what a 7-year-old doing up at 10 o'clock? And the reruns came on after the Chappelle show.
But that's the thing. I think people want to be a part of it, but they watched it later. Y'all watched it later. It's fine. Y'all was not watching this show at 7, or you saw some of it. You wasn't watching it like us, and then you go to daycare talking to your 7-year-olds talking about, did y'all see the Boondocks episode last night? No, you wasn't doing it.
We up there in the room on a box TV. Because it came on after the Chappelle show. See, they won't know that. They don't remember Chappelle show. And a 7-year-old right at the desk with me.
Right.
And then the reruns, just before the internet had it only could come on after a certain time. You went
right, you a lie. That's right. Like I said.
And I'm drinking beer, illegal beer, my damn self back there, and you up there with me.
No, but that's like if we were like Lewis, man. Me and you was watching Julius Erving playing basketball in the playoffs with Robert Parrish. We're not going to act like we saw that. We didn't see it.
If I saw it, it was 88. I don't remember. That was his last. I don't remember. I could have seen it, but I don't remember.
Right, but it's not like you remember every play. You remember a certain game.
I can't remember Michael Jordan for 92.
Right.
I didn't know how good Michael Jordan was in real life in 92. I knew how good he was in 98.
Right.
But not 92. And he was good back then.
Right. That's right.
So,
when he started winning championships and the world focus was on him, we started to watch Michael Jordan. But I remember watching both.
He had 2, Brennan, and you can't tell me how good he was in 92. You just knew he was popular.
No, right.
You didn't know his game. You didn't know fadeaway. I don't know what fadeaway was.
No.
I didn't know he was
that's
popular.
fine. That's fine.
But 98, I was on it. 98, I knew. But 92, I ain't know a damn thing. I just knew he was popular.
Right.
Just like this show was popular.
We should do a short on that. Well, we did some good content on that, but I didn't realize this was a real argument.
I'm just tired of. I just want people. Our channel, use your brains, people. You just because you see something, that means you don't means you comprehend it. You just saw it. You just saw it. I see good movies from the 80s, the early 90s. Now as an adult, they're good movies, but I didn't understand it back then.
Right, and that's okay.
Ninja Turtles, the first movie, is better now than it was back then.
And why is that? You understand it more?
Well, I can understand it then, but it was. I like right now. Back then, I won't say the grit. I like the grittiness. I like they didn't use adamant. They had real people. I didn't say that back then. I said, "Oh, I like Ninja Turtle movies."
Right.
I like the grittiness. I like they use real people. Watched the Ninja Turtle movie this past week. All this AI stuff. How did Ninja Turtles got superhero powers now? They fly through the air doing 10 flips, kicking a person.
Yeah, I think I saw like a cartoon. It's just too, like I say, I like the old school where they look real. They look like it could possibly happen. You know what I'm saying? Like
they was real people doing it. That's why. Shoot,
but it tricked your mind into thinking
they in the air spinning this much and
Right, and it's just too much. But that first movie, it was just regular people doing regular moves. It was,
and it was good too.
It was good.
It was good too. It was that
And
basic karate. It was good.
And one of them they had Vanilla Ice in too. You remember that one? That was the second one.
It was starting to get a little bubble gum, but that first that first fight scene and the whole fight scenes was good because like real life fighting.
Right, correct. But when you
now they jumping off roofs, airplanes blowing up, they jumping on the airplane like this and grabbing it. You can't do that. You see,
that's funny.
Boy, watch Ninja Turtle movie, the first one, the motherfucker. Grown-ups can watch it, be entertained. Yeah. Kids can watch it, be entertained.
I may try to show my daughter that. I recently put her on All That. You remember All That? And Kenan and Kel and stuff like that. And I was like watching, I'm like, oh, because back then it wasn't a YouTube. Like if you was a kid and you wanted to, do comedy or make it big or something like that, you would have to audition and try to get on this show.
Yeah.
Nowadays you can just do a YouTube channel and blow up that way and be a celebrity. So it's just different times, and we went through different stuff as kids, and we looked up to that, and we wanted to be on All That, or you wanted to be on Nickelodeon. Nowadays, you don't even need to be on Nickelodeon.
You had to have talent back then. Now you need less talent. You just need people to click the like button and watch.
right.
And watch. That's it.
Right.
So,
but we'll wrap it up, Louis.
All right, we'll call it in. We'll see how my life goes.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. You're not going to get any Ninja Turtle breakdown mixed with Boondocks anywhere else on YouTube. So make sure you rewind that back. I know there's one person watching right now. Make sure y'all check this video out and our other videos. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Louis, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
Make sure you hit it out. Make sure you subscribe, man.